Hey everybody, Jason Bermas here, and we are going to continue to go over the raw Epstein files. And this one we're going to be going over data set number 3. Now, this one, it says it's like 1,800 plus photographs. So I cracked the code as to why the files now are offset. At first, every single PDF was one file, and I put it into another PDF file. This one, there are a bunch of single files, then a bunch of files, then single files, et cetera, to confuse the issue. So you have that. But in regards to what we're going to see, there really is not one bombshell photograph in this entire dump. There is massive censorship. Let me repeat that. Massive censorship. Now, when I say massive censorship, a lot of it does have to do with quote-unquote protecting victims. In the Palm Beach case, we have to remember that the sweetheart deal involved not just Jeffrey Epstein, but Ghislaine Maxwell, and then others were reported in the media, including Adriana Ross, Nadia Marcinkova, Leslie Groff, and Sarah Palin. Okay? Now, it seems like the vast majority of them have been scrubbed. What I found alarming throughout this, okay, number one, it seems like they've censored Ghislaine Maxwell some of the time, not all the time, in like these little photo thumbnails. Now, the photo thumbnails themselves actually seem to be part of the binders. In other words, they're actually printed out, and each one of the CDs is labeled, and then some of that is also blacked out. Almost everything about the Palm Beach case itself, just the case alone, is blacked out. When you get to the grand jury New York case, and I think it's like almost the final 100 photographs, or maybe 80, the entire thing is blacked out. I mean, blacked out. So it's 100% impossible for these blackouts to simply be we're protecting the victims. That's not real. Now, in these photographs, we also have some hints to New Mexico. We know that a lot of the information that we've already gone over in the first several videos involving the first 2 data dumps, that there is no raid of the ranch in New Mexico. This seems to have certain things that are also either totally and completely censored or photographs that are not part of what we already saw, but should have been part of what we already saw. And for instance, there are these like little thumbnail photographs of that weird, Epstein with what seems to be some kind of archaeologist excavator, right? And we seem to have more photographs there. Honestly, at the end of the day, what we're about to show you kind of raises more questions, in my opinion, than it answers. But it does answer. Remember, I was talking about the fact that obviously some of these trips with Clinton in particular were not just in the Africa trip. And it looks like it's the Philippines. It looks like London. Those are labeled. One's labeled the Far East. So that's what I mean about a sloppy mainstream media and not just believing, AI slop. I'm learning as I go along. Another thing is that we have the Palm Beach raid in 2000 and I believe, 7 or 8, right? It's very early on. And some of the binders that we see moved into Epstein's house in New York seem to be coming from that area. There is like one faux pas where in one of the thumbnails you can see one of the victims' bare buttocks. I wish that they had covered that up. So let me say this. There's obviously censorship protecting the victims. There's one where Jean-Luc Brunel, it just says gay on it. And then there's some, photographs where whoever he's kissing is blacked out. I don't know if we have those photographs uncensored. We might. That was something noteworthy. that I thought about. Some of the CDs were completely blacked out, so you wonder if you even had a record of those or those records coming through. And we're also going to show you Donald Trump talking about these files and why, quite frankly, he continues to drop the ball on this and then continues to attack the best thing Congress has going, which is Thomas Massie. 100%. Like, Thomas Massie is the man, and people recognize he's the man. And Trump going after him does nothing to help his case. On top of that, him saying that Massie's down to like 8 or 9% in the polls is totally ridiculous. It's totally ridiculous, Donnie T. So get the thumbs up, subscribe, share. Remember, I can't do it without you. Brent, Matthew, Tamara, thank you so much for being recent donors. Again, $5, $10, $15, it does mean the world to me, but big donors, wow. You're keeping it going. It is the holiday season. Just got hit with a massive car repair bill. Buymeacoffee.com/Jason Bermas. Or big donors, you want to remain a little more anonymous, we've also got the PayPal down below. Please, please consider supporting the broadcast. I want to shout out marigoldresources.com. They do support the broadcast. They broker the deals that buy and sell businesses, and they've been in the game for a very long time. So if you're in that gear, please go check them out, marigoldresources.com. And then, of course, the River City Reader, rcreader.com. Truly independent media outlet. Give me a follow on X, even though, again, they talk about being the free speech platform. They're not. YouTube right now gives me more reach. Google is giving me more reach than you are, X, or the Musker Nuts. And maybe that has something to do with my little expose, if you're new to the broadcast, on transhumanism. I guarantee you, if you are new and you're just seeing the Epstein stuff, this is a must-watch. Welcome to Transhumanism 301, a masterclass. Please give that a watch. And by the way, Epstein into transhumanism. Just wanted to read this quick. Epstein files bombshell. FBI was investigating 10 co-conspirators, including billionaire Les Wexner. The Epstein document dump just got a bit more interesting. Okay, so this is one of the few documents that's not completely blacked out via the 2019 case. And like I said, there should be a lot more, especially if you go back to his history in the beginning, where it seems like he has his hands all over Iran-Contra and arms dealing. And Mike Benz does a great job here. Please watch that. If you haven't seen my last video, I explain a lot of Iran-Contra, BCCI banking, and that criminal network. Extremely important. And then my man Massie here. All right. Again, 97% of the people are with Massie on what they've done with the Epstein files and transparency. Oh, it's a losing issue. My Arnis. Again, they talk about 16 files that have disappeared from the DOJ. Come to think of it, and there's still a whole nother data dump that I haven't been through, data 4. But if it's not there, just think about the safe itself. And we've already made some commentary on the safe. I've seen pictures out in the media that seem to have been used at the trial that were not in that data dump with the safe. Food for thought. So here is Donnie T dropping the ball once again on the Epstein case. Let's thumbs it up, subscribe, and share. I will take any super chats as they come along, but we got a long ways to go on the files.
Thank you, Mr. President. Were you surprised by the number of photos of Bill Clinton in the Epstein files? And can you commit to their
by
full...
What?
And were you surprised by the number of photos of Bill Clinton in the Epstein files? And can you commit to their full release by the end of the year? Some of the victims were protesting that too many of them were redacted.
I know there are a lot of people that are angry about all of the pictures of other people, but I think it's terrible. Look, I like Bill Clinton. I've always gotten along with Bill Clinton. I've been nice to him. He's been nice to me. We've always gotten along. Respect him. I hate to see photos come out of him, but this is what the Democrats, mostly Democrats, and a couple of bad Republicans are asking for. So they're giving their photos of me, too. Everybody was friendly with this guy, either friendly or not friendly, but he was around. He was all over Palm Beach and other places. The head of Harvard was his best friend, Larry Summers. And Bill Clinton was a friend of his, but everybody was. I actually threw him out of Mar-a-Lago. And as a person that was in Mar-a-Lago, I threw him out. This is Mar-a-Lago. It's the hottest place I think it's the hottest place in the world, but it's the hottest place in Florida. and everybody would come here. He'd come here. We actually threw him out. But no, I don't like the pictures of Bill Clinton being shown. I don't like the pictures of other people being shown. I think it's a terrible thing. I think Bill Clinton's a big boy. He can handle it. But you probably have pictures being exposed of other people that innocently met Jeffrey Epstein years ago, many years ago, and they're, highly respected bankers and lawyers and others, and they'll end up, because of guys like Massey, who's a real lowlife, whose polls are down to about 9%, by the way, in the great state of Kentucky. If you look at Kentucky, Kentucky is such a great place, but I don't know, they've got a couple of people on there that are very strange in terms of leadership, but Massey's a loser, and he likes it, and that he works with the Democrats. He's just being used by the Democrats, because what this whole thing is with Epstein is a way of trying to deflect from the tremendous success that the Republican Party has.
No, it's not. No, it's not. And, again, you talk about getting along with Bill Clinton. Now, whatever on that. But I want people to think about this. Think about what he said via Reiner and how he has to constantly make things about himself, right? And then he had to talk about Mar-a-Lago and how I think it's the hottest place going altogether right now. Trump's got a lot of faults, guys. And attacking the most America First congressman and then a backhanded comment about Rand Paul in the Senate without saying his name. It's not helping you, Donnie T. It's simply not helping you. Especially when in 2015, when you're running, okay, for the 2016 presidency, you get asked about Epstein, and you talk about Bill Clinton and his relationship with Epstein. Not a great look. Not a great look, Donnie T. All right, here we go. Buckle up. Get those thumbs up. Subscribe and share if you are new. Ring that bell. Like I said, this one here, first of all, we're not going to read up the lather up business right there of the soap on a rope. But yeah, this is one of the first exhibits. Then we seem to have a bunch of luggage-looking stuff and massage tables. And then with this photo lineup of Epstein, at first when I looked at it, I thought that these were like 5 other co-conspirators. No, it's just the men that they put in the lineup. We find that out later on. But as you can hear me hitting the buttons here, right? And now I'm not sure what I'm looking at with this. Except for maybe some more photos of the lineup because it says 1 through 6. But then why is Epstein protected there? It seems weird, right? Seems odd. And this says 8/11, 2000, and what is that? Is that 6 or 8? 2006. Okay, so I mean this is a lineup taking place in 2006. I would assume. And there we go. And this is Palm Beach, and just all this. I mean, a lot of the stuff is repeat stuff, and this has to do with the photo lineup itself. And here it looks like it's 7/28/06 on the date. And here you see 05/3/68. You see 06/10/78. Not sure what those represent. But once again, more lineup stuff, more stuff about the lineup, more lineup stuff. Like I said, we're already through 54 pictures here, guys, and there's nothing really here. All right? But, we try to get the nuggets that we can. Okay, so now we're into some estate and then back here. Here's Epstein with, I would assume, victims, but possibly also some of the co-conspirators that got the sweetheart deal, everybody. Frame photo. And by the way, it says that right next to it. It says photo frame. Photo frame. These always come after the evidence, by the way. Here's Prince Andrew with what I would assume are all women that he's draped over. And there's Ghislaine Maxwell. So once again, guys, there is some kind... I've never seen this photograph before. There is some new stuff. But we've known he was a scumbag for some time. Once in a blue moon. And by the way, there is another thing in here towards the end. We had the cover of this weird, personalized book of, cutout stuff for Epstein. Now we have the inside of that book, and it is even creepier. So we do have a very creepy Epstein book as well. But here you go. I mean, again, all that stuff blacked out. This part blacked out. And honestly, in other photographs, this looks like possibly a photograph he had of a multitude of the women, like naked or semi-naked out on the rocks. Because he certainly, as you can see here, took a lot of that type of photography. Okay? So Lord knows about the film stuff. Here it looks like some kind of, like you see the twinkle, twinkle, little star. You see the sun stuff. This, again, looks like one of his victims. That's all blacked. So much of this is blacked out. Now, again, some to protect the victims. Otherwise, not there. Then we have the twin torpedoes, pleasure devices, Bluewood collection photo frames. See that a couple times. And, as I was stating before, just a ton of blacked out images. A lot of which may be the women. As you can kind of see, sometimes you see their feet. Sometimes you see absolutely nothing like in this. Right? But here you see a couple women, nothing. So many of this blacked out. So much of this stuff. I mean, right now we're at 125, guys. But we're doing it. We're showing you. I mean, I guess the first couple I did curate through the first 1,000, so we wouldn't have to sit here and go over things like this. But like here, obviously this person's being protected along with a possible victim. Like the man, you should be able to see his face. And just so much of this, guys, fully blacked out. I don't think all of this is protecting victims. And remember, this is the Palm Beach case. And remember, that was the picture out on the rocks right here that was framed and maybe put into a thing, and all that's blacked out. Again, I assume probably topless women, maybe girls, maybe of age. And here's the thing, like this picture right here, there's another sub picture later on where I see it, and I think it's like a woman in a bikini or less. I don't know if she has a top on doing that. There's going to be a ton of repeat stuff here. This, to me, is honestly the least telling of the tranches. Sex toys and a lot of blackouts, right? And here's looking at a group of photographs. Obviously the other people aren't relevant. Scarlet's Cabaret. There's some XXX mags here. Scarlet's Gentleman Club. And the Excitement magazine. Now you wonder, because they blacked this girl's face. And I mean, to me, this wouldn't make any sense because anybody can find this magazine. Maybe she was involved with Epstein. So anybody wants to find that uncensored, maybe that's a lead. And in this, there are some depositions, right? And it says here, transfer video to VHS or DVD, etc. Some of the things that were being done here. And again, right there, like this. We have a multitude of other stuff. And maybe that's in here, and it's just not the photographs or images section. But we also have a ton of videos, too, from that case that were long ago released. So, I found this odd when we were looking at this message is confidential. This message is confidential. And then whatever is blacked out here. So I'm not quite sure. Bradley Edwards, obviously, because it's the Palm Beach case, his name gets brought up. Message is confidential. So you got a lot of photographs on what seems to be the island. You've seen the Epstein Disney stuff. You saw Epstein with Winnie the Pooh. Here, Epstein is there with Piglet. Seems like a lot of characters from the Winnie the Pooh universe and Epstein are taking pictures together. Here's where, again, how young these women / girls are, I don't know. But the photos honestly only get smaller as we go on. And a lot of them end up being repeat photographs. A lot of them are, I guess, ones that we haven't gone over yet. And once again, you know, it seems like a lot of these girls are maybe topless. Here seems like another version where you can see a little bit more of this guy. And it looks like there's a bra here. I don't know. See, there you start seeing some of the doubles. There was a double in there. Here's some nude photo sets for sure. Some black and white artsy stuff. Doubtful that Epstein was taking these photographs. Probably had them doing these shoots. And again, there's like a quick bare buttocks, everybody, that didn't get censored. There's a couple like that. And this is what I was discussing before. Remember, he had that painting. Clearly, it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 naked women right there. Okay. And more evidence of that. More evidence of that. Again, I always like to do, if I can, an overview. Here's that boxing picture I was telling you about, where maybe this person is totally buck naked boxing. So it seems like in the Palm Beach case especially, there's plenty of photographic evidence of Epstein and some of his victims. That seems to be a dude. Maybe it's not. I don't know. I think that's not a dude. Looks like they're covering up some identifying markings of this woman. I'm not quite sure. Also, you notice these are physical pictures because they're also showing you the back of the picture. So, they don't tell you where those photos were provided by. Okay. So, again, the blackouts here in most cases are probably protecting the victims. But at the same time, especially with the Clinton stuff, the Hood Barack stuff, the Prince Andrew stuff, there could be more details there for sure. And Thomas Massie is talking about 20 different names. And Trump is trashing Massie for that. Come on. Give me a break. So as you can see, guys, like I said, and we haven't even gotten into the binders yet, but this does look like a lot of victims. There's Bradley Edwards right there, and this is stuff all the way up till 2020, 7/17/20. Okay? And it's a USB of photographs right there that he had. So a lot of this is more than likely Virginia Giuffre Roberts stuff, but others as well. We talked about this before. It looks like now I can see here that whatever this photograph or painting was, that's what they're trying to represent, is that it should be up on the wall and it's on the ground. See right there? Boom. Some bad photocopies. Some butt photos. And later on, I think that photo and a range of other butt photos, they're not there. And you notice this. So this looks like, these are the binders. Zorro, Vegas, Prague painting. There's still things blacked out here for whatever reason. Paris. And it says Gay Jean-Luc. Okay? And now here you can see, like I was telling you, so it appears that these binders have small thumbnails of photographs that are either on memory cards, as these are TIFF files, or burned DVDs. See how it says that? Those were aerials of Little St. James. And then it says the skiing thing as well. Right? So here again, now they're into JPEGs. And some of these we've seen in the other one. Other ones I don't know that we have seen. Okay, so there's the C, cloud pics. So they're always describing whatever we're watching here after the fact. Okay? And again, you can see that, certain things are blacked out even there on the thumbnails. The DOJ did a piss poor job. And some of these especially, I know we saw. We saw Epstein here. Now, my question is, if we saw Epstein here, I don't remember seeing all these other photographs. So why not? Because they absolutely had them. Right? And that's just like one of the glaring anomalies to me. Like, for instance, here's another great example. Here come the gross pictures of Ghislaine Maxwell, where they're censoring out Ghislaine Maxwell wrestling around with Jean-Luc Brunel. And this one's like fully censored. Why? Why? I mean, if you take a look, these are the horrible, her feet rubbing pics, and they censored his foot touching inside of her breasts. So you wonder what's going on there. Okay, and there it tells you Prague. All right? And that was painting. And for some reason, something there. Here's a bunch of Zorro Ranch photographs. And again, I don't think they're just protecting victims here. Maybe they are, but everybody's blacked out in these photos at Zorro. Right? And it says someone and someone, Zorro, 604. So that's a good question. Like those photographs right there, are those victims? Are those co-conspirators? Or are those, when I say co-conspirators, other people that should have been charged weren't necessarily working with the Epstein network? And all this just reigns on speculation. And again, why didn't we have any of those photographs? None of those photographs were in the other dumps, yet some of these other photographs are in the dumps. Right? You're seeing it. See, there was Zorro, Vegas, and Aspen all burned together. That one's just totally... See, and there's another one. Just, they don't show you anything of whatever this is. And that also Zorro. Another Zorro. And again, look how blacked out these are. Zorro Ranch stuff. Lots of Zorro Ranch stuff blacked out. And then they didn't investigate Zorro Ranch. Okay? So, here's Epstein. I mean, seems like some of these are definitely victims. Right? And it's funny. Like, this one says London. We're going to make it a little smaller so everybody can see. But you notice this JPEG name is not London. And for whatever reason, they blacked that out. Maybe it was the victim's name. I don't know. But then, up top here, again, you can see this does appear to be a female. And all those pick names are also blacked out. Here we got some New York City shots. Right? And then it says miscellaneous pics. So here it is, the Jean-Luc Brunel. It says gay pics. And again, remember we did have the cross-dresser stuff. Sorry, guys. Here, the Jean-Luc Brunel. And is he kissing some guy here? And all these blacked out. Something blacked out. Are those his compromising Jean-Luc pics? I don't know. I just don't know. Something too. And again, right here, it just says CD. That one says 81 thumbnails right there. And notice this up here. See that? All these right here. Just, we don't know. Like that, I got some of these Jean-Luc Brunel pics for sure. Other ones, I don't think they were in the drop for whatever reason. And then all these 100 thumbnails, they don't show you anything. Nothing. 81 thumbnails, nothing. JE photos / who knows. Okay. So a lot of blackouts there. And like I said, a lot of these we do end up getting. This seems to be book 11. Remember the binders that we were talking about? Still a lot of things on this one. PB Girls, 65th Backyard, Little St. James, but a lot of blackouts on the subject matter. Right there. Keep going here. And just boom, so much blacked out. Don't get me wrong. I get it. We're protecting some of the victims, but you think maybe Just maybe a lot of this was taken too far. I mean, this is the censored train. It's like, boom, boom, sorry, nothing for you. Can't even tell you the names. Nothing, nothing, nothing. How about some nothing? You want some nothing? We'll give you a little nothing. Here's a dog, plane, and then a whole lot of nothing. Some jets. And then here you go again. We saw some of these ones with Epstein and the person asleep. But again, with some of this, I'm looking at some of these pictures, right? Like this one here. Here's a long shot of that guy asleep. And like 3 more of them, right? You see the 3 more? We didn't get those photographs in the other dump. I'm just saying. Just saying. We got some of these helicopter photos. There's Ghislaine Maxwell. Looks like in their, possibly in her pilot's uniform right there. Maybe not. Maybe those could be. Could be something else. But once again, with these documents, it's clear you're only getting part of it, and so much of this stuff is censored. And by the way, look at that helicopter right there. Right there. I think these look like military helicopters. I don't know. Continuing down the line, the censorship line. By the way, let's get the thumbs up. If you're new, subscribe and share. This is how we do it here. We go over the raw documents. Again, I think we got some of those. I don't know that we got all of them. This seems to be a female on the ground. And then just tons of censorship. Tons of censorship. About a quarter of the way through here, guys. And I know we're not seeing much. Again, all that stuff before here. Easter? Is that what's marked? Or is there another CD before that? I don't know. These seem to be shoots. You can see the white mat. So these are definite modeling shoots here. You can see some of the silhouettes of the women behind it too. Or girls. Like right there. But all these completely blacked out. Some of these group shots, you can see a multitude of feet. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of feet, possibly. In little weird boots, like ballerina booties. I don't know. And it says dancers' images. Again, more blackouts. Epstein with a rooster. Some weird cock imagery, if you will. Looks like some cats and also a little dog on the bottom. And it looks like, I mean, this is probably Zorro Ranch, I would imagine. You got a couple hogs there as well. I think about halfway, guys, is where we're gonna break on this one too. I don't think we're doing it all night long. We're gonna say, because there's just so much censorship. There's only so much of this we can break down. I don't even know if we're gonna get to the Clinton stuff, but you see it. We're moving and grooving, and they censored a lot. Like a whole lot. Like a whole lot. Like, I mean, it's 50-50 on what was censored and what wasn't, right? Go back a little bit here. Not sure if this is their Thailand trip or not. But again, it seems like some of these weren't shown either. And there's Bill Clinton, right? And there's Mick Jagger with Bill Clinton. And we got, I think, the majority of those, but not all of them. And now it says the Thais, so that looks like a trip to Thailand. And then there's Bali, Asia. You also see Russia. There's some nudes supposedly in there as well. Zorro Ranch, yoga girls. The infamous Jeffrey Epstein 50th birthday. I haven't seen this 50th birthday party, by the way. I've seen some birthday parties, but maybe that was the 50th. They didn't show any of the stuff that, like, supposedly came out of the birthday book, interestingly enough. Okay, more blackouts. Hey, do you want some more blackouts? Because they got a ton of blackouts for you. More blackouts, but then you see Epstein, I think, on the phone on the right-hand side. Now, yet another one. Blackouts galore. We're just cruising. Cruising through it all. Oh, this is the excavation I was talking about. So here you go. Remember, there was like, it looks like right here, there's some like ancient inscriptions or something. And Epstein is definitely with some guy. And this is out by Zorro Ranch, it looks like. So they're excavating something out by Zorro Ranch. But then all those are blacked out again. And here we are again. Like ancient cave paintings there. And right here, you can see more down there. I actually do find, that aspect kind of super interesting. See even more of it right there? And more, and for some reason, these ones are blacked out. And like, again, the ones, see, here's the other thing. We knew stuff was blacked out, but then a lot of these weren't even shown. But you knew they had them. And then this looks like some kind of a birthday card right here. Like a love birthday card. And then it just goes right back to what appears to be, more of this, archaeological excavation. Now here, I'm wondering, you see the person in the wheelchair. 2 shots of that person. Is that Stephen Hawking? Or is that somebody else? Because we've got some Hawaii and we've got some Zorro Ranch, apparently, as this is marked. But then this is blacked out right there. Throwing it out there. And we continue on. And this is Bali right here. So, and once again, some of these I remember going over, like here's Bill Clinton up here, right? And here's some more Clinton pool. And this is Brunei. Okay, so this is Bill Clinton in Brunei. The AI doesn't know it, but now you do. These are them in Brunei. It's like, why couldn't, people go with that before? Why is that like a hidden secret? So the Brunei trip, and then they go to China. And I'm not sure whether or not there's Hong Kong. There's some blacked out stuff there. We saw these photographs of Ghislaine Maxwell. This is her. See, she's being protected here, but that's her in the flight outfits. Just very bizarre. Let's see. Keep going down. And like I said, a lot of these are there. Here's Clinton again. But then some of the Clinton ones seem to not be there. For whatever reason. At least in the larger format. Here we are in Thailand. I believe what those Clinton ones are in Thailand. So you got Brunei, Thailand, possibly China, possibly London. Here's Clinton, Far East. That's what those ones were named right there. Here's Copenhagen, Paris, miscellaneous, something blacked out. Obviously, this is Moscow as well. This is St. Petersburg. It also seems like a bunch of the Russian ones aren't in the other drop. They're only right here. Right? And this is like one of the few ones where you can actually see a female face. Just pointing that out. For whatever reason. Very few. And this is the Russia and Epstein. And he's with Jean-Luc Brunel on this one. And you know what, with that, I think we're going to wrap it. I think we're going to wrap it on up, everybody. Folks, I want to thank all the new people out there. I want you to check out all my documentary films for free. They're in the playlist section down below. Loose Change, Final Cut, and Fabled Enemies if you want to learn about 9/11. Invisible Empire, A New World Order Defined. We played a large segment about Iran-Contra earlier today. I think it's a well worthwhile film. And then Shade the Motion Picture. All free. I can't do it without you. I can't do it without you. Holiday season. I know it's rough out there for everybody. Please consider supporting the broadcast. A true independent voice that thinks that you're grown up enough that you can look at the raw imagery and the raw evidence and you can come to your own conclusions, and you don't need some talking head telling you exactly what to think and what narrative is true and about their super secret inside information and inside baseball. We don't do that here. We don't do that here. We also don't play team baseball. Why? Because it's not about left or right, everybody. And again, big donors. We got the PayPal down below. Like I was just saying, it is not about left or right. It is always about right and wrong. I want to thank you guys so much for being with me. I love you, and I'll see you all on